Hey there guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed last episode on the roof build. We're gonna get back to it. As you can see, I've got a different backdrop behind me right now. I've been living in the van for a couple weeks now. I'm currently in Grand Tetons National Park in Wyoming and just kind of exploring around, but I have a lot to catch you up on to get to this point. So on this episode, we're gonna be working on all the framing, the wiring, the walls, everything like that. If you have any questions or just comments, feel free to put them below and I'll get right back to you. Thanks.
Hey everyone, if you've been following my journey, you know I've had a taste of van life before. It was amazing, but my old van's condition forced me to sell it and head back to Hawaii. I started working hard, saving every penny for my next big adventure. And guess what? The wait is over. I bought a 2017 Ford Transit in Salt Lake City, Utah, and took an epic cross-country road trip to Maine with my dad to build it out myself. This van build has been an absolute blast, and I can't wait to hit the road. But that's not all. Just like last time, van life won't stop my international travels. I'm gearing up to balance life on wheels with exploring the globe, because there's just too much out there to see. I'm thrilled to bring you along on yet another incredible adventure. Stay tuned and enjoy the ride.
All right, so we got the floor done. Now we're kind of in this part where there's a few random steps to get done. So really, in the long run for this next part of the project, it's gonna be setting up the framing and for the walls and the ceiling. So we're gonna set across battens here to be able to bring everything over. I also got to cut a hole for the vent fan. And right now I'm just gonna quick make boxes to go around the tire wells. I don't really need anything that's gonna go the whole angle of the tire. So I'm just gonna make a square box, just place it over, and that's gonna be really good to help create some bit of bracing for my walls. So then I can have a bit of a square here with a piece that connects into that box and goes up, because I'm gonna have a little bit of a shelf right here. So it'll make more sense once you see it, but yeah, just gonna put that on real quick and just be a few random things and it'll all get back together soon.
So before doing any of the framing or insulation, I wanted to get my wiring in. I've watched many videos of people doing it after. It created some issues for them, and so I suggest you plan ahead in the build and decide where you'll actually need the electricity. This will save you a lot of time down the road.
Alrighty, now that wiring is done, it's getting time to get ready to do the ceiling and everything, but before that I really want to get my vent fan in. So just lining everything up, measuring where it needs to go. Obviously there needs to be some work on this ceiling. The last owners must have scraped up against something, so once we install this I'm gonna have to do a little bit of work, sand down the surface rust and then repaint. But it's not gonna be too bad. So yeah, we're just gonna install this vent fan right there, and we'll be ready for the ceiling after that, because my installation comes in 2 days, so everything's gonna start moving pretty quick. Okay, so I've got the square all lined up where I need to cut out. So it's gonna be here to here, here to there. Tape is so I don't scratch the roof more than it already is. Again, I'm gonna be touching up all these spots, but just want to get this in right now.
So gonna be drilling a hole in the corners and then cutting along this line, and it should fit that in perfectly. Alrighty, so got the drill, gonna put 4 corners, and then I'll be able to use the jigsaw to go through. So I just went underneath, make sure there was no wires running across, so I wasn't cutting through any wires. There were wires running across, so I just unran them real quick. But yeah, time to drill some holes. Okay, so I got the hole cut, I filed down the edges, and I will have to paint the edges just so it doesn't leave any spot for rust. We did that with the windows down below as well. But first, you see this rust right here? This flange extends past it, so I won't be able to touch that up later. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this wire brush and just brush that down, and then I have some paint down below that I'll brush that on before putting this on. Same with like this little dot right here. All this stuff I'll deal with after we are done with this, but I just won't be able to touch it up when this is down, at least in those spots. So we're gonna finish that, and then we'll do the rest of the roof probably later this week. I'm putting on an adhesive in addition to using a rubberized double-sided tape to really ensure that this fan holds tightly. Once put in place, I decided to make a wooden collar to screw down into from above, making it pinch the roof metal, creating a tighter bond. The final thing is just to silicone the edges and the screws just to make sure no water gets through. Okay, so now that my ceiling fan is installed, I got a little bit of a head start on my framing. So basically, my bed's gonna sit at that height. I haven't put it on this side yet. And I'm gonna have a little cubby right in here. That blue tape is marking an outlet. And then this is gonna be an inset. So I'm gonna try to get it with insulation and the plywood, obviously as close to the wall as possible, but we're gonna have about 1.5 inch thick insulation. So we'll have to see. But I'll bring it in, and then there'll be a bit of an inlay, so I'll have to make a box that goes here. Same as going on this side. That's going to go around the window, and then I'm also putting a cubby here as well. This door is going to be good, closed for good, I believe now. I think I've finally decided, so we're going to start working some framing there as well. I do have some long framing going here to support cabinets. You don't see it on this side because there's no cabinets. But I can't put up that framing just yet because I can't access in here from here. There's a metal piece, and I would like to put insulation in here. So my insulation actually comes in today. So once that comes in, I'll be able to quickly stuff it into these little spots, and then I can run that over and hopefully finalize my framing today.
Okay, so got basically all the framing done for the walls, and then haven't really been able to do the cross battens yet for the roof or the ceiling, just because right now I want to put insulation in that, and still waiting on the insulation to come in. Should be here any moment, but yeah, I just started working on finishing up most of the framing. So basically got both of this set up. Our little kick-in bed's gonna be sitting on this. Same here. Little cubby. Now this is just the kitchen framing. Because I have a door, the way that it all works, it's gonna be kind of inlaid. So I'm gonna do it actually like this, where we're gonna have a box. And so this is gonna have a box and basically its own window shelf. Okay, so apologize for the mess. Been working on framing and just getting everything ready for this. So for this video, we're gonna be doing my insulation, and took me a lot of time and research trying to figure out what insulation to go with. There's a bunch of different types. You can go with a hard board, you can go with spray foam, you can go with blanket foam. There's a few different ways, and really the cheapest is going to be that foam board, which is what I used on the floor, and it's really easy to work with surfaces that are flat, but really my floor is the only thing that's flat. Everything else has curves to it, and it's not really doable. It'd be a lot of bending that board, and I just felt like I'd be losing some R value of the board and having a lot of issues just installing to begin with. So the other option was spray foam, and I chose not to go with that either because after a lot of reading, it's pretty permanent. Once you spray foam everything, if you want to pull out a wire or you want to do some new plumbing or whatever, you have to basically drill into that foam. It is solid. So I wanted something that I could, if needed to, could really get through. And also, honestly, to spray foam an entire van, it wasn't that cheap either. So I ended up going with 3M Thinsulate 600 ml. It's one of the more popular ones for van lifers these days. And I actually have an affiliate link. I'll link it down below in the description if you would like to get this through Nomadic Supply, which is, in my opinion, probably the best place to get it from. I did a lot of research, and at the time of my purchase, it was the cheapest place to get it. And it also came relatively quick. I bought it about a week ago. I'm in Maine right now. They shipped it from British Columbia, so the other side of the continent, and got here, yeah, within a week, so not bad. But yeah, I got, it depends on the van you get. It really depends how much you need. And on their website, they have a really good explanation on what is the best for your van and what size of your van. For mine, it ended up being 50 linear feet. This is a 5-foot roll, so that's 250 square feet. I think it cost me about $415. So definitely not cheap, but it has an R value of 5.2, and it's going to be really easy to install around all of these curves and just hard places to get. It's going to be easy to stuff into those crevices, especially the spots I was talking about where I'm putting the cross battens above, because I would like everything to be insulated. So decided this was the best. It's hydrophobic, so it's really not gonna soak up water, which was good. I got a spray adhesive, so there's not gonna be any settlement due to the shaking of the van when it's driving down a road or whatever. It's gonna be staying right there. So one of the pricier ones, but definitely not the most expensive, and I think it's gonna be the easiest to use and probably gonna keep me the warmest. So I'm pretty excited about it. So let's give it a go. So it's rolled up really tight right now. Once I start unwrapping it, it should decompress. I think it's 1.65 inches thick. sorry, one more thing. Another option is fiberglass, but I chose not to go with that because I'm gonna be living in here, and I didn't want fiberglass fibers in my van. Some people do it. It is way cheaper that way, but with a place that I'm gonna be calling home, and the only thing separating me from fiberglass is 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch shiplap, didn't think it was the best idea. So, and also with all the work I'm gonna be doing, it would be a mess until I completely sealed everything up. So, insulate it was. Okay, so now, before I get too crazy with everything, I'm gonna be doing just 4-inch cuts across. This is 5 feet, and that should cover these cross beams. I gotta do 3, 4, 5 of them. So 4-inch, I'll measure it up, mark it, and then should be able to cut with scissors. So that's what we're gonna be doing for now. Cool thing with this Thinsulate too, that it's sound deadening. So I already added that kill mat for sound deadening, but this is really gonna make the drive pretty silent, which will be nice.
To attach the cross members to the roof, I used an adhesive PL375 and self-tapping screws to get them secure to the metal. This is what I'll be using to attach my ceiling boards to.
Alrighty, sorry for the rain, I don't know if you can hear that, but I've got all my framing done. So now the next plan is I'm gonna cut to the size I need for each section of the roof. I have my adhesive right here, same thing, 3M. This is a 3M product as well, just makes it easy. Remember, when you use this, you need to wear a mask. You really don't want to get this in your lungs, so I gotta go grab one. But yeah, I'm just gonna be spraying the surfaces. I gotta take down the wires because I'm gonna run the wires back up again over the insulation. So first thing I'm gonna do is cut everything to the size I need it. I'll get the spray, do all the spots I need to spray, and then we'll stick it up and put the wires back, and it'll be time to start thinking of the ceiling. That's crazy that we're already here. All right, let's do it. Okay, so I got all the pieces cut out for the roof. Saying the roof, ceiling. And so how we're gonna do this is this stuff, specifically the 3M 8 Strength 90. Got 2 here. You spray a good coating, and you have to wait for it to get tacky. So you just put your knuckle up to it, see if it's kind of tacky. Once it is, it's ready to adhere. So you also spray I'm gonna spray the white side of the insulation, and that has to get tacky as well, and that puts it together, and that's how it gets that really strong bond. So what I'm gonna do takes about 1 to 10 minutes, big range, to get tacky. So I'm just gonna go through and spray all of the spots, and then go unroll all of my pieces and spray them as well. Then go around, wait for it to get tacky. Once it is, one by one, just start putting it up.
So this is where I'm going to end this episode, as this is the order I built my van. I didn't do the whole insulation first, but instead just made sure my framing could be done, and then did the ceiling so it could be ready to install the finished ceiling next. I'll be putting the rest of my insulation on walls and doors in another episode. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of my van build. If you'd like to support me, a like, comment, and share helps me out so much. I can't wait to continue showing the process of this build. Until next time, see ya.